What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So tonight's video, I wasn't really sure what I was going to record or what team I was going to do, and then sometimes fate just slaps you in the face as the Timberwolves just fired their head coach and found a new one within 2 minutes, which makes no sense because usually when a coach gets fired, there's usually like an interim head coach that gets promoted, right? But no, the Timberwolves decided, you know what? We're going to hire that guy in a multi-year deal, even though it's the midst of the season, which is something I feel like I've never seen before, which is just crazy to think about. But Minnesota has a new head coach, which is just kind of weird to say. Like, in the midst, like, if it was an interim coach, that's different, but they literally hired their new head coach for the future within 2 minutes of firing their old one in the midst of an NBA season. If that's not crazy, I don't know what is. But we are doing a Minnesota Timberwolves Realistic Rebuild despite all that happening. We're going to do it regardless. We're going to try to build this team back to glory, win a championship, all that jazz. You guys already know what the deal is. Leave a like if you enjoy this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know you guys' thoughts on the Timberwolves firing their head coach and hiring a new one within 2 minutes. It's just insane to think about. Oh, Chris Finch. I know he was an assistant coach on the Raptors, but I don't know literally anything about him. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this was a terrible hire or it was a good one either, because I really don't know, to be honest with you. But he is on 2K, which is kind of surprising. I went to the Raptors coaching staff, and he is there. He doesn't have like a face scan or anything. I believe that's just an ungenerated one, unless if that's what he actually looks like. And I probably should have looked him up, but it is what it is. I didn't. So Chris Finch, new head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, man. And then let's just go into the roster of the Timberwolves. Let's be honest with ourselves. The Minnesota Timberwolves have not been healthy, man. Karl Towns, I've been preaching this for a while, but Towns and D'Angelo Russell have not played a large sample size of games together. They've only played like, what is it, like less than 10 games together or something crazy like that, man. Those two can just not stay together on the court, and the trade is looking pretty bad for Minnesota, but hopefully, at least by the end of the season or next season, these two can play together and show what they can, you know, be made of, assuming Towns or Russell isn't going to want out anytime soon, especially Karl Towns. He's been here for the longest, and nothing's really happened other than that 8th seed with Jimmy Butler. But looking at it, I'm going to try. This is what I think. Our pick right now is going to Golden State, top 3 protected. So my idea is to suck, honestly. That's kind of what I want to do. I just want to be trash, honestly, and lose and get our pick back, because it would be honestly a blessing if we could stay within the top 3. But if we're going to rebuild the rotations, I don't know how long D'Angelo Russell is going to be out. It's going to be 4 to 6 weeks, so I would say probably is going to be back until I can't do math at the top of my head. So it'd be like the end of March or April or something like that. And I'm not really sure when the NBA season ends this year. I just don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and honestly, I don't want to make the playoffs. I really want to suck. So kind of just want to leave D'Angelo Russell out of the rotation in general and kind of just hope he's good for next season. That's kind of what my thought process is right now, if I'm gonna be honest with you. So if I took D'Angelo Russell's minutes away, obviously he's got to play 1, and I gave these minutes to Ricky Rubio, and I took D'Angelo Russell completely out of the rotation. Is that just crazy, or should I just completely suck? I'm gonna give Towns as well, like, let's give him like 32. I don't want him like killing himself this season because we're not going to be good. Malik Beasley. Edwards, I want to progress like crazy, so I will throw a lot of minutes at him. Jaden Vanderbilt, who's been very impressive for Minnesota as well. Culver, I want to see him do something well. Jake Layman. But D'Angelo Russell, I kind of just want to suck this season. That's kind of my goal in mind. I kind of just want to be trash, and hopefully we stay in the top 3 and get our pick back at least this season. If not, it is what it is. We lost our first round pick, which would suck. But I'm just going to go ahead and sub the rest of the season. Hopefully we are completely trash. But yeah, new head coach in town. Let's see what we can do with this team, and hopefully we can make this team championship team by the end of the video. My goal in mind didn't really work out. We were still winning games even after I took Russell out of the rotation, so I plugged him back in there. We got D'Angelo Russell and Karl Towns to play a little bit together, which is something that would also be valuable in mind for the Minnesota Timberwolves. If they didn't want to tank completely, they could at least get those some reps together, man. Like, get something going with those guys. I guess you wouldn't say reps, but some playing time with each other. But looking at the end of the season stats, we had 22 from Cat, 20 from Anthony Edwards, Rookie of the year, which is our rookie year. I wouldn't say rookie of the year, but rookie year. D'Angelo Russell averaged 12 points. That is a little bit of a joke. I don't know what that's about. I hope that isn't going to trend that way. I'm definitely hoping that fixes itself. But still in the playoffs, so we went 37-45, which is something the Minnesota Timberwolves probably are going to do in real life. But we did in the game. So, and we're not going to get our pick back, which is really, really unfortunate, to be honest with you. So we're not going to have our draft pick this offseason, which is something we definitely could use, but we're not going to have it, as it's going to go to Golden State most likely in this situation, as it's projected number 13, which I guess isn't that big of a lottery pick, honestly, but we don't get it back. It goes to the Golden State Warriors via our draft pick, obviously, and that's it. So we don't have a pick in this draft whatsoever after our pick is gone from the D'Angelo Russell trade, obviously. So I'm going to keep the coaching staff the same because the Timberwolves seem to be convinced that Chris Finch is the guy because they hired him midseason, like I said. Let's go to the NBA draft now. And yeah, with no draft pick, we don't really have a ton of options here, obviously. I'm kind of curious about the salaries we have on the roster. So we have Ricky Rubio, 17 million, which is something I would definitely love to get rid of. It was a nice reunion in Minnesota, but I'm sorry, don't really want to keep you here. Edwards, Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell, or Carly Towns are guys I really want to keep around. I think these guys are all talented. I think they can make something of this roster. It's just a matter of training this team in the right direction and being healthy is another thing. But other than Ricky Rubio's contract, there's nobody I really want to get rid of. So is there any way I can move Ricky Rubio on draft night? Is that crazy? I could trade him to Cleveland for Taurean Prince. So, you know, get a little bit of a change of scenery, I guess. Then Rubio to Cleveland, who could be a backup point guard in Cleveland, I guess. Kyle Kuzma. Reunite with Kevin Love as well. So we could do something like that. We got the Pistons, who took DeLon Wright out of the rotation completely and started Dennis Smith Jr. tonight, which I did love that move. I feel like DeLon Wright's probably gonna get traded soon, but I think I'm gonna do this Taurean Prince trade, both on one-year deals. So I'm gonna send Ricky Rubio to Cleveland so they can reunite, and we get a 27-year-old Taurean Prince who might still be able to showcase something. He could be a 3-and-D wing here or something. So I'm gonna move him to a small forward spot because that's where he used to play, and we'll move him there. And now I have Taurean Prince at the 3, at least a backup small forward at the very least, if nothing else. So I like that. Now we have no picks, so we're just gonna skip right over the draft. Player options, we got Naz Reid, who's played great for the Timberwolves in Karl Towns' absence, Jarrett Culver, Okogie, and Jalen Noel. Qualifying offers, we have Jared Vanderbilt, which, like I said, I would love to have him back. Came over from the Robert Covington trade or the Clint Capella trade, whatever you want to call it, in that 4-team deal, crazy 4-team trade. But as far as this offseason is concerned, it doesn't look like we have any crazy impending free agents. Looking at it, we got D'Angelo Russell at point guard. Big problem was, okay, so his shot tendency is 90. So I'm hoping that 12-point per game average was just because he didn't play a ton of games and he was struggling maybe. That's what my hope is. So Towns, Russell, Malik Beasley, Edwards, Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels. So 1, 3, 4, 5. We have a lot of wings. A lot of wings. Wow. Okay. We have Juancho and Jake Layman at the 4. Not ideal. Probably not ideal at all. Naz Reid and Towns. So I think I want to keep our center spot the same. Power forward definitely needs a change. Edwards, Malik Beasley. Honestly, I'd probably prefer Edwards to move back to shooting guard and move Beasley to the bench. I feel like Beasley would be a very good 6th man. I know he's been good in the starting 5, but I feel like I feel like that's what we should do. I feel like Malik Beasley would just be an excellent 6th man, although they might want to start Edwards still even regardless. But I feel like Beasley would be that guy off the bench that could just get us some buckets. We have Jaden McDaniels here. We have Jarrett Culver. We have Taurean Prince. You have Josh Okogie. We have a lot of wings. So, I mean, they can kind of figure it out there, see what we want to do there. But I don't like a power forward spot whatsoever, so that needs a change. So, power forwards that I could sign in this offseason that might make a little bit of sense. You have Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, who I believe played in Minnesota this season, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know that for a fact. Kelly Olynyk, Myers Leonard, Bielitsa, Jabari Parker, Markieff Morris, Nico Meliskow. I'm not seeing anything that I like, so honestly, we might end up trading one of our wing players for a 4 if we want to do something like that, because I would prefer an upgrade. Or wait, Vanderbilt was out here, which is what I want. Okay, so Jared Vanderbilt was the guy I honestly wanted, if possible. So, Mir announced Ricky Rubio. Actually, we might want to keep that trade exception. That might get us something decent, but potentially 4.9 million. I don't really know. I'm probably not going to scan the market over 4.9 million though for a trade exception. So Vanderbilt, I don't have his qualifying or his bird rights for some reason. So I'm kind of hoping he just comes back. I don't see him out here. Let me see if I can see what he's asking for. He's asking for 9 million, which apparently we can't afford that. So hopefully he just comes back with his qualifying offer, I guess, because if not, we're going to lose him. We're going to definitely lose him, but let's see. And he will be back. So I know I didn't do a whole lot in this offseason. A draft pick would have been very good, but I kind of just want to see what a full season of Russell, Towns, Edwards, and Beasley would look like. Are we going to be good, or are we just going to be trash? And then we have a lot of, young wings that might be able to turn into something. So we traded Ricky Rubio out of here at the very least. And now we can kind of just reflect and see what happens on season number 2. And then we'll go from there. Make our changes from there. Maybe we make some huge offseason addition next year. But for now, I'm content with what we got. And hopefully we can just be somewhat good this next season. So Anthony Edwards, Jarrett Culver starting at the 3. I don't hate it. We got Jared Vanderbilt at the 4. Karl Towns at the 5. Malik Beasley as a 6 man, like I said. Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, and Josh Okogie. So I don't hate this whatsoever. So it looks like Prince isn't going to get any minutes, which It's a little unfortunate, but I don't think he's going to be a huge part of this team, so that's fine. I'm going to move Malik Beasley's minutes up to 32 because I do want him getting a lot of minutes. I want him to be our next Jordan Clarkson or next Dennis Schroeder. I want him to be something for us, and I'm probably going to move this proficiency to a 7 seconds just because I want to see the best we can get out of our starting five. I want to see what we're going to do this season, so going to move this to a 7 seconds, and like I said, we're going to sit in the second season and see what happens. So I guess all that really needed to happen was D'Angelo Russell and Towns and Edwards and whatever else you want to say just needed to play together because we just dominated the West and we're the first seed. Which is, it's just crazy to think about. This is just 2K logic for you. I just don't think that's going to be the case. Maybe Minnesota could flirt with an 8th seed, bottom seed playoff spot, but I don't know about going all the way from not being so good to being the first seed if you got your 2 best players in the court at all times, which is just funny. But awesome, man. I mean, we did good. Suggs, Rookie of the Year, MVP Jokic, 6-man Dinwiddie on the Washington Wizards. We got Jonathan Isaac, Defensive Player, Wiseman, Most Improved, Steve Nash, Coach of the Year, and here's your All-NBA first teamer. So I imagine Luka, Trae Young, Giannis, LeBron, Jokic. That makes sense. All NBA second team. Do we get a cat? Yes, we do. All NBA third team, Karl Anthony Towns. And no, D'Angelo Russell makes it as well. So that is definitely a bounce back season. 20 is night and day, man. It is literally night and day. Averaging 12 points last year, went from 12 to 27 points per game, which is what we wanted from the D'Angelo Russell trade. Am I right, Timberwolves fans? That's what we want to see. So we're the first in the West. We went 57 and 25. So we had an insane season. Player stats, like I said, 27 from D'Lo, 25 from Anthony Edwards. So this man, Anthony Edwards, is becoming a star for Minnesota, which you love to see, at least in 2K anyway. He did have a crazy dunk, crazy dunk the other night. But yeah, he's shown some promise this year in his rookie season. I'm excited. Malik Beasley with 14, Najee with 11, Jarrett Culver with 9.5, McDaniels, Vanderbilt. Let's see how Jared Vanderbilt did. He didn't shoot any threes or anything like that. So just 6 points per game. So maybe we do still need to upgrade that power forward spot, or maybe we just win a championship right now. And I don't know, man. This is crazy. But we got Houston here who went 39 and 43. They have John Wall, Kevin Porter, Alec Burks, Young, Christian Wood. They did release DeMarcus Cousins, which is crazy. I'm definitely curious to see where Cousins goes in his next team, next adventure, wherever he may go. I know the Lakers are already being talked about, which is just obvious. But simulating game 1, we win 1-0. So good start to this playoff series. We're up 2-0. We're up 3-0, and we beat them in 4, right? Nope, 3-1, and we beat them in 7, 6. Okay, we beat them in 6. Now we're playing Denver. Okay, so we get to play the Denver Nuggets, who beat the LA Lakers, which is probably better for us because Los Angeles is usually really tough to beat. And now we're playing the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Michael Porter, Bol, Jokic, Monte, McConnell, Isaiah Jackson, and RJ Hampton. When are the Denver Nuggets going to make a big trade or something, man? I want to see Denver make a trade to make themselves legitimate in the West. I love Jamal Murray. I love Jokic, but I would love to see them get that third guy. I know Porter could be that guy, but maybe they just don't have the time to wait. Go for it now, man. All right, anyway, let's simulate game 1. They're up 1-0 started off. 2-0. Nope, 1-1. Okay, do we go up 2-1 here? They do. Please don't let them go up 3-1, and they do, so that is a little unfortunate. We need to give more minutes to Anthony Edwards, according to the scout, so I will do just that, and it's still saying it, whatever. Okay, so here we are in game 5, game 6, I don't remember what this was. I think it was game 5, and we are fighting, and we're not ready to go home yet. We beat them by 2 points. Edwards with 34 and 32 from D'Lo. Very good performance, and now we're back in Denver. Let's see if we can maybe force them back to Minnesota. Let's see if we could do something like that. That would be kind of fire if we could do that. And, you know, it's looking good this far. Nope, they come back 100 to 102, 22, 22, 21, 12, and 10. So, unfortunately, we get eliminated in the second round. But, hey, I mean, definitely a jump from where we were last year. You gotta admit that at the very least. 57 to 25. We lose in the second round, but that's fine. So, draft lottery time. Unfortunately, we're not going to have a lottery pick here because we obviously just made the playoffs. A lottery pick definitely could have helped us, but we have the 29th pick in the NBA draft. Okay. And then staff signing, I'm going to keep Chris Finch because why not? He was just a new head coach, so I'm not going to fire him. Let's go to draft night. We have the 29th pick, Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell, Towns all under contract. So, I mean, at this point, I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything with these picks to upgrade the roster. So, I'm just going to go ahead and draft somebody with that 29th pick, and hopefully we get somebody decent who can maybe join the rotation. We'll see. So, with the 29th pick, we will be taking, I guess we can take, Zion Harmon. I don't know, man. I don't really know who to take here. So Zion Harmon, welcome to Minnesota. You are a 75 overall. Maybe you'll play some backup point guard minutes. We'll see. Edwards, Naz Reid. We'll go ahead and sign everybody back. Honestly, Jalen Noel. I'm 23 years old. I'll bring him back. Wancho. I'm gonna decline that $7 million. I feel like we might be able to use it elsewhere. Culver, McDaniels. Okay, so qualifying offer: Jared Vanderbilt, Josh Okogie. Jared Vanderbilt is going to be a free agent again. Power forward options: Jared Vanderbilt's out here with 16 million asking. Okay, so that's a definitely a hefty asking price. Okogie's asking for 15 million. And honestly, I think we have the freedom to maybe make a trade here because we do have a lot of young players. Maybe, just maybe. I'm not saying we're going to go out there and get a Bradley Beal or anything like that, but we might be able to upgrade something at the wing spot. Somebody that might be able to come over and help us out a little bit. I don't know who it's going to be, but if we scan the trade market a little bit, maybe we find something that could help us out right away. I couldn't really find anything I wanted. I looked around a lot, but I just didn't really see anything that made a lot of sense for either side to do. So we're just going to kind of look in free agency, see if there's anything. And if not, we might just roll with Jared Vanderbilt again. And maybe we get a Okogie back. And maybe with, you know, a little bit of more additions coming back, maybe just maybe we can still make that trade that I want to make. I'm not really sure. So Taurean Prince's salary filler actually would be really nice to have right now. But fortunately, we just don't have that. So Taurean Prince wants $3 million. 28-year-old, you know, honestly, that's not too bad. Okogie and Jared Vanderbilt are definitely asking for a lot of money. Vanderbilt, he didn't really do a whole lot for me, so I am not really content with wanting to give him the amount of money that he is asking for. And it keeps wanting me to renounce their rights, which is just really annoying because I don't want to lose any of them. I would rather have, okay, so I'll renounce like Layman Prince, but I don't want to renounce we'll renounce okay, I don't want to renounce Vanderbilt. I'll renounce, so I want to keep Okogie and Vanderbilt if possible. That way we get those guys back. But everyone else, I just don't really see anything out there. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure we get those guys back. Because we just went 57-25 at the end of the day. So I don't have to change anything if I don't want to. But I'm trying to find an upgrade that makes sense. I just can't really seem to find it. We have an 88 Anthony Edwards, 88 D'Angelo Russell. But now that free agency is over, maybe, just maybe, I can find what I'm looking for. So Vanderbilt is going to be under a no trade clause now. Those are Okogie. So if I threw Jarrett Culver out there and like, let's say Zion Harmon, who we just drafted. Let me try this once more. So a power forward would be really, really awesome to get right now. So like Brandon Clark from the Grizzlies would be interesting to have. So maybe Memphis goes a little bit younger, gets Brandon Clark, and we get somebody who's, that would be kind of fun if we could do something like that. And Brandon Clark gets an expanded starting role. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get Brandon Clark to Minnesota, and we'll do something like that. So we at least have something different here. We at least made somewhat of an upgrade. That way we're just not doing anything in the rebuild, as you know what I mean. Because sometimes there's just 2K just takes off with the roster you have, and sometimes it just works out. But I love to make changes here and there, obviously, because it is a rebuild at the end of the day. So what I want to do here is I'm going to throw untapped potential at Anthony Edwards. I'm going to throw this other one, I think, at our new addition in Brandon Clark, because I would love to see him do something for us. Then untapped potential, I'm going to throw this last one at maybe McDaniels, who's going to maybe step into that starting spot. So let's go look at our starting five now that Jarrett Culver is gone, and we have Okogie starting. Okay, so you have D'Angelo Russell, Edwards, Okogie, Clark, Towns, Malik Beasley, Naz Reid, Jay McDaniels, and Jared Vanderbilt. I love our rotation. Looks awesome. We're at 4-star at 7 seconds. So they want to start Okogie. You know what? That's fine. I'll roll with it. That's fine. Well, similar to the end of the year, just went 57-25 last year. So hopefully we can repeat that and be back in the midst of the Western Conference. Off the season number 3, we do end up going 49-33, which is good enough for the 6th seed in the Western Conference. So we weren't the 1st seed again, but we had Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell leading the way with 25 apiece, and we had Karl Towns with 21 and 11. Malik Beasley with 13, Naz Reid with 11, Jamie Daniels with 10, Brandon Clark with 10. So, yeah, you love to see the efficient numbers all the way around. You like to see that. Clark, or we had literally everyone shooting over 43%. And okay, these guys were at least. I wouldn't say everyone. I was gonna reach the number. McDaniel shot 43%. Definitely would have loved to see him start over Okogie, honestly, is what I think should be happening, and that's what's gonna happen in the playoffs, because I feel like that's probably the better fit there. I feel like that makes a lot more sense. And we are playing the Oklahoma City Thunder, who do have a nice roster of their own. They have Jalen Suggs, they have Shea, obviously, Kendall Brown. They brought Blake Griffin back to Oklahoma, I guess. Who he went to college. He didn't ever play for the Thunder. I'm saying that because he did go to college in OU or whatever it was. Basley, Gary Trent, Hamdi Diallo, Tim Hardaway. So do we beat this team in round number 1. We're down 1-0 to start things off, so not a good start, but we do even it up. We're up 2-1. We take the 3-1 lead, and we beat them in 5. So we are on to the second round at the very least, and now we're playing the Golden State Warriors, who have Steph, Clay, Johnson, Pascal, Wiseman, Wiggs, Moses Moody, Maurice Wagner, and Jordan Poole. Same way in game 1. We do lose game 1. They're up 2-0. We do win game 3, and we're down 3-1. So this could be D'Angelo Russell's revenge on, although he probably should have never went to Golden State anyway, regardless. But this could be, D'Angelo Russell's revenge for trading him. But it just looks like, okay, so we are gonna stay alive for this one. So 33-12 from D'Lo as I'm talking about him. So maybe, just maybe, we make something happen here and we force a game 7. That would be a lot of fun if we could do that. And it's looking good. It's definitely looking good, and we are gonna at least force a game 7 here in round number 2. So we are not going out just yet. The Warriors might blow yet another 3-1 lead. That would be so awesome if they could do that for us right now. Come on, Golden State, blow that 3-1 lead. You know how to do it, but it's not gonna happen because 2K loves to get your hopes up in this game just for you to just lose. So you tie the series up and then you get blown out in game 7. It makes no sense. That seems to happen all the time. All right, so winning playoffs though, let's go see who wins the championship as the Brooklyn Nets go on to win it all with Kyrie Irving as your Finals MVP. If nothing else, we at least talked about Minnesota's new move. If nothing else, we at least talked about Minnesota getting a new head coach within 2 minutes, and we got the roster back to the playoffs even once as the first seed and a top 3 seed in the West. So we didn't win a championship today, but that's fine. I honestly just really wanted to ask you guys about what you thought about the 2-minute hire of, what's his name again? Chris Finch? Is that what it is? Or something like that? Something like that. I already forgot the man's name. Chris Finch. That's what it was. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. What team should we rebuild tomorrow? But for now, this is Crushables. I'm saying peace.